Where do we shoot people?
I was given videos of paramilitary exercises by members of the Oath Keepers. That's a right-wing extremist group. Some of the members of that group who are in this training guarded Roger Stone at multiple events in Florida and DC, and they were also charged with taking part in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Some of the people in the videos were part of this attack on the Capitol, and they are charged with conspiring to disrupt Congress's certification of Joe Biden's electoral votes. What prosecutors say is that the people in the video and other Oath Keepers took paramilitary training courses. So this video is an example of a paramilitary training course that some of these Oath Keepers took.
Where do we shoot people? We hit the heart, we cause massive hemorrhaging, lots of bleeding happening.
They are talking about extreme violence.
If we miss that, we hit lungs. That ends the threat quickly.
They're talking about shooting people in the head, between the eyes.
What I want you to think about is a headshot, specifically in between the eyes at the top of the nose, all right? We have squishy stuff, right?
The instructor of the video, who says he's a former Marine rifleman, posted the video with hashtags that include Stop Antifa, Stop Communism, Keep Fighting, Give Violence a Chance. By all indications, the guy who's training them and giving them a lot of this instruction does this every day. And he's really giving people quite violent instructions with the idea that it's defensive, but really it's pretty clearly oriented towards fighting communists or Antifa. He's wearing a t-shirt in the video that says, "Keep fighting communism." That gives you a pretty clear idea of what underlies this. Roger Stone has a really interesting connection to the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. He wasn't there, but he knew members of the Proud Boys who have been indicted for their part in the attack, and he received security from some of the members of the Oath Keepers who have also been charged with taking part in the attack on the Capitol. Stone gave a series of speeches on January 5th, the day before the insurrection, in which he said Donald Trump had won the election, and he used what he himself has characterized as apocalyptic language. This is a fight between good and evil, light and darkness. Keep fighting. So Stone says he didn't incite the attack on the Capitol, but we know he made these very extreme remarks, and he was surrounded by people who then went and took part in the attack. He has, I would argue, explaining to do about what he was up to. For all my reporting on the Oath Keepers and the Capitol insurrection, visit motherjones.com.
All right, please initiate with fire. All right. Yellow. Baby, loud! Behind the car. 6 feet off. Keep cover in place. I'm moving. Move. Moving. Save lives. Anyone else? Okay, those are all good answers. And sometimes people are like, to kill them, or do they drink all my bangs, or something like that, all right? Yes, to stop the threat, all right? So as soon as the bad guy is no longer a threat, we are done shooting. But keep in mind, where there's one bad guy, there's usually more. So just because we took out this guy doesn't mean that he didn't have another buddy with him, all right? Think about criminal, right? Why would anyone fight a fair fight, right? If I was a bad guy and I was going to rob you, I would take Chase and another friend, and that way there's no possible way you could win. Bad guys will do that too. So we're talking about stopping the threat. That's incapacitation, okay? Also, if they drop the weapon, they run away, we've stopped the threat, we've won. We're not police, we're not military, we're not acting in that, we're not pursuing that, okay? They're gone. Excuse me. If they're gone, let them go. Now, lethality is killing. When we're using a rifle, it's very much so an offensive weapon. Pistol, generally we're protecting ourselves with that. If we have a rifle, if we draw our pistol, that's usually because our rifle is not working at that time. Out of ammo, malfunction, broken, something like that. Rifle's very offensive and it's very lethal. It's a better tool than the pistol. So anything we do to them when we shoot them will be lethal. The goal is not to kill them, the goal is to incapacitate to end the threat. Now, where do we shoot people? Where? Center mass. All right, good. So the way I want you to think about it, center mass is often said, but the way I want you to think about it is high thoracic cavity. Everyone feel your collarbone in that center. You see how little it dips down? Now form a fist right there. You see how my fist is right below the collar line on my t-shirt? I didn't draw circles on here or anything. I want you to look at the bottom collar line. We're gonna be shooting the bottom of the collar line, okay? Basic thing is you just aim at the collar at close distance. The rounds will impact lower because we have height over bore. We have a sight margin offset. Okay, so the rounds will impact lower. Out past about 10 yards, just aim a little bit below the collar line. If you aim at the collar line, that's the simplest thing to think about. But when we're aiming at that, we're trying to hit the heart, all right? If we miss the heart, generally we're gonna hit the lung. If we hit the heart, we cause massive hemorrhaging, lots of bleeding happening. We're turning that clock where they're gonna be incapacitated. If we miss that, we hit lung, sucking chest wound. This is stuff that ends the threat quickly. If we miss that, generally we hit something, and a round on him is always a good thing, no matter what. All right, second area that we shoot in order of priority.
Pelvic girdle.
Pelvic girdle?
T-box.
What?
Head trap.
All right, what I want you to think about is a head trap, specifically in between the eyes at the top of the nose, all right? We have squishy stuff, right? 308, 12 gauge, 40 cal, whatever caliber will bounce off the skull, okay? Anything worth shooting once is worth shooting twice. I don't want to make the joke on camera, but free Kyle. Anyways, he gets it. All right, so squishy stuff, right? Because that's where the soft stuff is, that's where the rounds are gonna penetrate the best, and that's where we're gonna end up hitting the brain stem. They'll drop, they'll just drop, whatever they're doing. Or maybe their legs will keep moving or something crazy, you know, that they make horror films about. But that's generally the off switch that you can buy. It's right in between the eyes, all right? It's going out as a T-box. I want us to always think aim small, miss small. Because if you aim for the head, you'll probably hit someone in the head, right? If you're not being real accurate. But if you aim for the center in between the eyes, you're gonna have a smaller group than just hitting the head somewhere. Same thing with the heart. Now, so we have the heart, brain stem, and then third area, what would you say? Center of whatever you can see, okay? Because if this is like a big wall right here, and you only see this much of me sticking out, just shoot for the center of whatever you can see. It doesn't make sense to go out and try to take a shot in the heart and then the head, because that's what I said, just the center of whatever you can see. Also consider the fact too that if you see like an arm sticking out, we hit the center, that's where bones are. We break the bones. We don't just cause a flesh wound, like a bicep, you know? Aim for the center. You get in and out? So, center of whatever you can see. You guys know the North Hollywood shootout? All right, yeah, so cops, two guys with machine guns and lots of body armor lit up the cops for 44 minutes, right? One of the guys, they ended up taking him out because they went underneath the car, shot him in the foot, and they came around and incapacitated him. So, the center of whatever you can see. Thoracic cavity, center of the eyes, and then the center of whatever you can see. Any questions on that? Now, we said pelvic girdle too. That's a fine way to shoot. That's totally fine. And I just don't teach it that way. But what we will do is when we come up right on the guy, we're gonna have to create a low angle. That's where we will actually be shooting the pelvic girdle. But that's actually just because of the angle we have to shoot at when we're super close up on the target. All right, so let's go load up mags of 10. When we put in magazines, all right, you're left-handed? Yep. Okay, so you want them facing like, yep, that's perfect, just like that. Everyone else, let's go bullets facing forward. Yeah. Yep. Do we have mags of 10 already, or what do we got?
30.
You got 30? What do you got, 30s?
30. Yeah.
10. Go ahead, just empty them out, take 20 out each real quick. Or I got mags you can use.